Are we live? Last time we did this, I was doing some stretching, so I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna stretch. If we are ever live, I'm gonna check my phone.
We should be good.
One moment here. Let me see. Yes, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone watching this show. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. If your day is ending, I hope you're gonna have a great evening. Welcome to the Automate Your Agency show. We do this
Up.
every single week. You know what? I think my microphone is a bit too far, so I'm going to put this a bit closer
Bring
here
him
so you
close,
guys
bro.
can hear my beautiful voice. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this show. We do this every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is currently 5:41, but that's okay. We had some technical difficulties here, but in this show, and we've done this for the last four shows. We show you all of the automations that happen. Well, not all, but we show you some of the automations that happen behind Augment Digital. And in the last show, we did a Zoom automation. The previous show, I think we did marketing. No, the first show was marketing automations. We've done so
Yep.
much shows. But in this show, we show you exactly what we do, the Zapier setups, why we're doing this, why we're implementing this in our agency. So you guys can literally just take it, implement it in your business, and not have to figure things out. Because honestly, if I'm in Zapier, I personally have a hard time. But Reynard here is one of the best. And so, before we dive into our show for today, if you guys want to check out the previous shows, I want you to go ahead and click the unit section over to the left side of your screen. You'll see all the past shows. 1 to 4, and you'll get it there. And before we really dive into this, we actually created a training yesterday around onboarding. And honestly, it is one of the
Well,
best trainings out there on onboarding. If you guys want early access to our onboarding training, go ahead and comment onboarding below, and I'll make sure that you guys will get first dibs on this so that you can really fine tune your onboarding system in your agency before anyone else. Now, let me see. Before we dive into this, we have a couple people on here. Um, if you guys are watching live, let us know where you are tuning in from. If you are watching the replay, just let us know replay so we can actually give you the automations that we are working on in this
yep.
show. So
One
um,
link with everything.
one link basically, right? So the cool thing about Zapier is that we can actually share to you guys what we're building, but we'll only share this if you comment down below hashtag replay, hashtag live, so we can get some engagement going. With that, I have my business partner over here, the man behind the scenes. He is literally probably second to Mark, probably better than Mark Zuckerberg in terms of knowing Facebook inside and out. But dude,
Insane.
last week we did Zoom automations. We kind of did the basics, right? And we promised
Yep.
our viewers that we would do a more advanced version of this. So, what is it that what are we talking about in this show today?
Sure. Yeah. So last week we talked about, automating the process of creating a Zoom link so that you have control over the Zoom meeting name, right? And we mentioned last week that, the reason why we need to do this is because there are a lot of things that you can automate right after, and one of them is the main thing is being able to automate the process of like maybe uploading the call to a folder somewhere, right? So a lot of people do this. This happens for sales calls. This happens for support calls you do with your clients. Like if you want a quick way to be able to identify, okay, this is where the meeting happened, and then let's download it and upload it to a folder. This is one of the fastest ways we've done it, right? And it's really taken us out of the process because before, if you use Zoom, if you own the account and then you finish recording, it sends you an email that recording is completed or something like that, right? And it's like it takes time. It's like you have to wait out in your email. You have to sort through your 1,000 unread messages to find it, and then you're gonna have to download it, find the folder you want to upload it to. So it's a tedious process, but you gotta do it. But then this has really helped us automate a lot of it, especially in our case where we upload specific calls into specific folders depending on what kind of call they are. So like we have different clients, example in RF, and every time we finish a progress call with them, we upload their specific um we upload their specific, what do you call this, the call recording into their client folder, right? So it isn't like we had to find their folder, stuff like that. is pretty quick. We just needed to know like, okay, what is the, what's their folder and just upload it, right? So the outcome of this kind of like automation, just so you guys could visualize it. Let me just look for a call. Example, we did a call yesterday with one of our clients. Give me one sec.
Cool. So as Reynard is trying to look for the file here. Once again, guys, if you are watching live, let us know live. If you're watching the replay, let us know replay so we can send you the automations that we talk about in this show. And
Yep.
what's interesting too is right now we're talking about having to route different meetings, and it's very useful for sales as well, especially for agencies that have a bunch of appointments coming in and out, every single week. And if you want to have a process where you can seamlessly put all of your recordings in one place, maybe you can have some other person transcribe that.
Yep.
This is going to be very useful for you guys.
For sure. Yeah. So let me share my screen so you guys kind of see. So what the Zap does is once you finish your call, right after, you can maybe make a task in your project management software. For
Yep.
us, it's Asana, but maybe if you don't use any project management software yet, we highly recommend you do. So Asana is one of our best bets. Maybe we can talk about it in a future show. But you can use ClickUp, you can use Trello, you can use Basecamp, whatever it is. They all have integrations with Zapier. You can then create a task, or even if you just use Slack, you can send a Slack message to a channel or to someone, and it can say like, okay, please upload the call with this. This is the download link, so you can see in your project management software or Slack, it's like you just get a task saying please upload the call, and you have the link here, the recording here, you have the call recordings folder here. So all you have to do is open this, and there's even a process here that we've linked for our internal use for anyone to be able to do it. And then we just download it, and then I actually clicked download, didn't want to do that. And then I upload it here, right? So you can see that this is the folder specifically for that client, right? So if I show you another client with ARF, let me just pause the share a bit. If we show you another client, so you'll see that it's unique, right? So you can see there's another call we had with another client. If we open this folder, it's the folder of that other client, right? So you can see his name forever booked. So you can see how this automates the process. No one has to be finding any links. No one has to figure that out. It's all just pretty quick. Like you get the task, you click this link, you download, you upload. Right. So whoever does it, one of your team members, your VAs, or one of the admin people on your team, makes it very, very easy. You don't have to deal with like almost anything, right? So that's like the outcome of this process. And like Fran said, there's so many other things you can do from here. Like example, if it's sales calls, for us what we do is, on top of just like having it uploaded, we make a task for someone to transcribe it or like upload it to rev.com for transcription, right? And then we get a transcription and we pass it on to one of our sales specialists to analyze, to get some messaging we can use in our marketing, right? So it's a very streamlined process. No one has to be telling anyone what to do. It's all triggered by this automation of like when a meeting is, the recording is available, right? So it starts with the upload, it ends wherever you want. And for our sales calls, it ends with the processing of the transcription into our marketing, right? So that's one of the, like one of the processes we use this for. But for this, just to show you guys the basics, what we'll do is run through that simple one where we have a recording and we're going to upload it to a fixed folder, right? Just so you can see the logistics of it, right? So Fran, are we ready to go?
Man, I've been ready since like I was born. I've been ready since I was born. But once again, guys, if you want to really understand how this all works, you're going to want to check the previous Automate Your Agency show because this is a continuation from the previous one. So
Yep.
if you're trying to understand the foundations to this, check out agency, no, Automate Your Agency show number 4. Kind of watch the entire video there so you know how to set it up. Go ahead and comment there so I can send you the link to that automation. And then go ahead and watch this one so that you can actually do more advanced, more fancy stuff with this automation. So I think we're all ready. We can go ahead and get started.
Cool. All right, let's do it. So let me share my screen. Screen two. Cool. All right, so let's make a new Zap. So in Zapier, you're gonna click Create Zap. Let's call it AYAS number 5. Damn, we've done 5 of these, bro.
Yeah, right. We've done 5 of these.
Let's go
Guys,
Zoom.
if you're watching this and you're still manually doing stuff, even after 5 shows that we've been doing this, God, you're doing something wrong. You're gonna have to watch all the shows and really start automating what you guys are doing.
Sure. All right. So where it starts off is really by using so what you want to trigger the zap is Zoom, right? So Zoom has an event that triggers whenever a new recording is done. So you can see here new recording. Right? So you're just gonna click that, you're gonna click continue, and you're gonna choose your account. I'll choose mine. And you're gonna have to log in and all after you've gotten in here. Then what you're gonna do is choose the meeting type, meeting, right? Unless you're doing some sort of webinar that you want to upload, you can choose webinar too. But if it's meeting, you choose meeting. And then right after that, just test your trigger, make sure you got the right one. So we have an error over here. Let's do some live fixing on the call. Let's see what we have. Okay, cool. So there could be an error here. So let's choose France link. Test trigger. All right. So it looks like Zoom has an issue.
Yes, just what we
I
want.
love it.
Yes. So, guys, while we're trying to figure out the Zoom error here, let us know what you are doing manually. If you guys are running your business, it doesn't even have to be an agency. It could be any business, right? If you're doing a lot of things manually, and you're spending so much time on it, and you're falling into the trap of like, um, we call it context switching, right? You're doing one thing, and now you have to do another thing, and there's this process in your brain that's going off, because you're having to switch from maybe an administrative brain part of your brain to like sales and all that. Now if you want to be able to automate that, let us know. The only way for us to help you out is if you let us know, right, what's happening.
Yep,
So
for sure.
did we or did we not fix this Zoom
Of
thing?
course we did.
Yes.
I'm kidding. So we'll see. It looks like Zoom is running into an error today. So we'll just show you um an active an actual Zap that we already have running.
Yeah, I think
Right.
it's good.
So let me open it up. Let me just rename it. Okay. Just simplify a bit. Whoops. All right. Cool. So let me just turn on the share back. All right. So this is one of our running ones. So for some reason, the new one, something's up with Zoom and we can't make new connections. So we'll just run with our the current active one. So here we go. We have the same thing we made. Choose app event, Zoom, new recording. And you're gonna choose an account. And then customize your recording, use meeting, and then find data. So I pulled one of our sample data sets here. And again, this is where that previous show really comes into play because you can see that my topic name is Reynard Bacalso's personal meeting room, right? And like we said in the previous video, when you have no control over your topic name, you can't automate a lot of things because you can't identify what actually happened in this meeting. Because other than, unless you want your team member to open this and figure it out by themselves, which adds variability to the process, which you don't want, there's no way at all to figure out what happened in Reynard Bacalso's personal meeting room. Right? It's like a detective, a crime story. Like what happened there. So that's why it's important to name it so you know what it was for. Right. So let me see if I can pull a new recording or will it throw me an error? I believe it will throw me an error. So something's up with Zoom. But let's run with this sample. I'll skip the test. I can. All right, let's run here. So same thing, like you see, find data, and here we have a test recording. So what happens here after you've created the Zoom recording, right? After you've made the trigger, next up, you can skip all of these that we have because these are pretty. We'll go into how we're using this later, but all you really need is the Zoom step, and you're gonna create an action for your project management software, right? For like in our case, let's say Asana, right? We're gonna create a task in our Asana, and we'll choose like my account, and then what we'll do is create a task inside our Augment Digital workspace. Let's say we choose a random project like this project. We'll put it here for our uploading. No section. Then we're gonna put here upload call, right? So it's very similar to that Asana task we showed you earlier, like upload call. Then you can put some notes here, like as to how can they upload that call. So like us, we put a process link here, and we have a link to the process, right, and how to do the uploading. We can put here the call recording link. So this is where you get the call recording link, or you get it here. This share URL is basically a link to where the person can download the what do you call this, the videos, right? And once it's downloaded, you can then identify, okay, what folder do I want to upload it in, right? So let's say in our case, we want to upload it inside our, let's say, our clients folder, or like our fulfillment folder, right? So I'm gonna grab our fulfillment folder link, and I'm gonna just plug it inside the task that's created, right here, right? So then you can just leave some instructions. Please upload this call once you get this task. Process to do so is found below. Check off the task when completed, right? So now I'm gonna make it assigned to me, just so um, we can test it out. And let's click continue. So you will see that if I test and review this, you'll see in our project management software that I was given a task. I'll open up right here. I was created the task over here called upload call, right? And then here are the notes I made. So now all I have to do is click on this recording link, click on the folder, and then follow the process that you have, upload, and then download it and upload it, right? Really quick. And again, you can do this in other places as well. So example, if you choose to do this in, let's say Slack instead, like instead of Asana, you can do the same. Like you can make a Slack step here, choose your work, you choose your workspace, send a message, and it's the same thing, right? So we can add in like a message like in our general channel that, hey, or you can have a channel specifically for these, like call uploads, depending on how you manage your Slack. And then I literally can just copy that same thing and paste it here, right? So whenever we have a recording to upload, it sends a message in our Slack, which allows our team or whoever it is to upload it into the right folder, right? So that's basically it. It's pretty simple. It takes what? It takes like 5 minutes to set up. It's actually one of the simpler automations that we have. But again, it's that preparation of understanding what we talked about in the previous call, of really controlling the naming of your topics, because then that allows you to route it into different places. Because for example, you may have calls that you don't want to upload, right? Because this automation will trigger for any call that's recorded inside this account, right? So what if you just want to create a task for calls specifically like sales calls, right? So what you can do is you can add the filter step, which will which will make sure that only, let's say the topic name, only the topics that contains like sales call will actually create the tasks and create the Slack messages, right? So if it's a call that is not like, it doesn't have sales call in the name, then it won't run. The Zap won't run, right? And again, that's the importance of having like, having control over the naming, because then you're able to manipulate this in different ways. Because like for a sales call, like we said in our processes, we create transcriptions, we create all these things, so it requires a different set of steps. So we have a different task, we have a different Zap for it. But for our client calls, it's literally just like Zoom and then upload to upload to the folder, like an Asana task, right? So if you have different types of calls going, you don't want to be just like taking action on them on the same way. You don't want your team to make a decision and, oh, it's this kind of call, we're gonna do this. You want it to be as streamlined as possible and as clear as possible. And by naming, you're able to really nail that down, right? So that's mostly it.
Nice, nice, nice. And I can hear the naysayers out there and people thinking, why go through all this complication, right?
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, on top of what Reynard said here, um, sometimes if you don't have, you know what, I hate the word some. My fiance actually hates the word sometimes, but
Really?
there
Why?
are because like sometimes it's very indecisive. You know, you have to be
I see.
specific. Like there will be instances in your life.
Oh,
Let's use that
that's
where
me.
where you want to do something. Let's say you want to put a process in place where you really want transcriptions of your sales call. That's something I want, right? I want to be able to review my sales calls. Now if I leave that to chance, right, That's never gonna get done. Why? Because there's so much things that you as a business owner you have to take care of, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have a business to run, you have marketing, you have sales, you have your team. I mean, is there mental capacity in your brain to really think about, oh yeah, I need to download that Zoom, I need to find that link, I need to send it to a transcriptionist, I need to make a task manually in my Trello, Asana, ClickUp. No, you're always going to forget that. And this process is never going to get done. So if you spend the time to just takes what Renard said, 5 minutes to set this up, maybe 7 minutes if you're starting out, to just set this up, then you're always going to remember, and your team is going to be able to do this with or without you having to tell them.
Yep.
And this is the importance of all the automations, right? It's very foundational. All the automations that we've ever built in the previous shows, right? It's not, it's, there's some work up front, but it's always going to pay you dividends and dividends and dividends as you move on into your business.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. And that's a great point, like about the whole like doing things up front and like it paying it later on, because like these are how like we talked to a lot of agency owners, and one of the things we always hear is like the reason why they end up wanting to work with us, or like anyone who does systems, is because they end up missing out on opportunities, right? And they feel like it's because of all this new work. When they look at it, it's actually all of these, one of the big reasons, one of all those repetitive kind of tasks that you think will take 5 minutes, but you do like 6 times a day across a day, and those really break your flow because you're like in the middle of doing like a legit client campaign, and out of nowhere you have to do that 5 minute task again, right? And it annoys you, and you think it's not hitting you. You think there's no impact because it's 5 minutes, and it's like mentally delete it from your day, and you think it's not making any impact on you, but it is. Like it breaks your flow. It's like it's something that's in the back of your head, and it kind of makes you, at least in my experience, like doing these really simple tasks, it kind of, what's the word, it kind of primes me to want to look for things that are easy to do, kind of thing, right? Like if I can choose to upload calls to a folder, why not? Rather than like do the show, right?
That's
Or
good.
write an entire like a post for the group or something, or write a new VSL. I'd rather upload calls to a folder. So you have this mental escape because you're doing all these easy tasks, right? This super easy task that takes 5 minutes, 7 minutes to automate. You'd rather do them because you're escaping from the real work, right? You're doing all this busy work that takes 80%, 90% of your time that you think is moving the needle, but it's just literally keeping the needle in place, right? When you can have someone keep the needle in place and you can focus on moving that needle. So many needle analogies in this
Yes, bro.
sentence.
I love the needles, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So getting that done, like Fran said, and really covering for that early on will help you, save a lot of time in terms of opportunity cost in the future too.
That's great, man. That's great. And we average 80 to 100 viewers per show, and I my hope is that if you're at this stage of this video and you're still watching this training, and if you're tired and you're frustrated of having to do busy work in your business which doesn't necessarily translate to productive work, and you really need to step into this CEO, this leader,
Yep.
this visionary role into your business, I implore you to either watch all the trainings or you can speed up that learning curve. Speak to either me or Raynard. We can absolutely help you out, coach you through some of the things that you're doing, maybe help you out with some of the automations. Just go ahead and check out agencyrocketfuel.com. We have helped dozens and dozens and dozens of agency owners just like you who have families to spend time with, who have a life outside of their work that they want to spend more time on. Then absolutely check that out. You will thank yourself many, many years, many, many moons in the future. With
Sure.
that, with that, if again you want access to the some of the automations that we're building here, I know we have some issues with Zoom. Just drop a comment down below. At this point, it could be any comment. Just drop it down below, and we'll send you. I'll personally send you that link so you can use it in your own business. And I think that wraps up our show.
Yep, for sure. That should be it.
All right. Well, once again, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And we will see you guys in our next episode.
Yep. Peace out,
Thanks.
guys.